and I have to go tell them, like, I don't want to eat food anymore, or this food anymore. And for a long time, even after I'd given up meat, I get to plate, dinner, and I kind of just like push around the food, eat everything else, not eat the meat, and just kind of like, oh, I wasn't hungry. But when I finally, and I mention that because I think that I get a lot of emails from kids who have the same concerns. It's not how do I give up meat, it's how do I tell my parents. And I think that I found my parents to be very understanding. You know what I mean? It's like 10 years later, and they're still kind of getting used to it. But like for the most part, they're pretty understanding of all of it. And I'll even find veggie burgers in my mom's freezer when I go home. And so I can see that they're a little more open to it now. They thought it was a phase then, for sure. I'm sure a lot of your parents thought it was a phase. When you first went vegetarian. They thought joining a band was a phase for me too. 10 years later, or how many years later? I don't want to date myself quite yet, but it's a phase I'm still in apparently. But I guess the moral is like my parents were understanding. And as parents, we need to be understanding. As kids, we need to be understanding too. We need to understand that our parents were raised at different times. That this isn't. They're not being, stubborn or ignorant. They're just like, we are all a product of how we were raised, and like I think we all need to sort of ease each other into what we believe, and not kind of take these hard stances where like you better agree with me or not, understand that we're all coming from different places. Let's see here. So when I finally went vegetarian, it was for a number of reasons. It was because I cared about the animals, and it was because I cared about the environment. It wasn't for health reasons. And I only say that because I wasn't, and obviously being a vegetarian or vegan is way healthier for you, but I wasn't a health nut, you know what I mean? Like I'm still not a health nut, you know what I mean? And I never really went vegetarian for health reasons, even though I knew it was healthier for me. I was like more of like, I grew up in the Midwest, I was meat and potatoes. I still am. Even if that meat is tofurkey, I'm still meat and potatoes. I want a giant, giant meal of like onion rings and tofurkey, whatever else. I don't really do shots of wheatgrass. I do shots of chocolate peanut butter vegan shakes. That's what I do. Which I think, and like that's nothing against people who are in it for health reasons, but it just wasn't me. And like I know that I wasn't concerned about. I was 17. I wasn't concerned with my health or my weight, And like I'm becoming more concerned as I get older. I'm almost 30. I have a daughter now, so that's someone I want to be around for in the future. My wife teaches healthy weight management classes, and she refuses to stock our freezer with ice cream, and so like things like that. Like I'm becoming more concerned. But I think that's another big misconception is that like every vegan and vegetarian, like we eat bark and grass. And it's like, I'm probably gonna down more calories than any meat or any day today. But let's see. And it's funny. I was telling that to a friend of mine just a couple weeks ago who actually owns restaurants in Chicago, and that alone is like I told him that he was like I never thought about vegetarianism that way. I never thought about it that way. It's not you guys don't just eat grass, And he went vegetarian after that conversation. Like he was like texting me, he's like, I'm still vegetarian. And this is a guy that I know who owns several restaurants in Chicago that serves meat, and meat was a big part of his his job really, because he had to taste the menu and all that stuff. And I could tell he'd been thinking about it. And after that conversation, he decided to go vegetarian. I don't know if he still is, but he's been texting me every once in a while. So I'll talk a little about the band right now. We started in Chicago about 8 years ago. Our drummer's actually from Colorado. He grew up in Evergreen and lives in Denver today. And when we started the band, we really didn't have like a mission statement or a goal. There was no game plan. We didn't like map it out like a football team maps out their plays. It was just kind of like, let's just start a band. That's why we all do things and start bands or start whatever, just have fun, see how long it could go. But when I found myself as like the mouthpiece for the band, which I never really been like that person for a band, I found myself in a position to pass on the things that I had learned from the punk and the hardcore community that I grew up in, and I felt that I also had a great responsibility to do that. I felt like that the things I had learned about punk and hardcore and just the injustice of the world and how important change and awareness is, I felt like now I'm on the stage and someone gave me a microphone And now I can talk to people about this, and I felt like I needed to pass this on to people. That's what we've been doing, and simply why we do it. This is because it was has such a huge impact on us as fans of bands. And even though there was no real mission statement or goal, somehow our deepest passions tended to rise to the surface above many of the issues that we focused on. And one of the things all four of us had in common in bands that none of us hated, and we all cared about animal rights. So it was something that we all really felt like we could effectively get behind. And so we got behind it. And which is, I think it's easy for you to forget that a band is for people, and if you're a musician, you're probably, a fiercely individual person. And like, so people, we don't agree on everything, you know what I mean? Like, the four of us don't agree on everything. And people think that we do, that most bands should. This is one of the things that we do agree on. We also agree that George Bush sucks. We also agree that we don't like Allentown, Pennsylvania, also, or Army recruiters, or we don't like that whole stretch of 80 that goes along Nebraska. But I digress. There's a few things. And so, as the band grew, we started to realize that our capacity to have people really listen to what we were saying. Music was moving people in the same way that it moved us. And so we wanted to really sort of channel that. We realized that we could simply mention that we didn't even meet in an interview, and it just seemed like it was just, some young kid with a tape recorder, and you're sitting backstage somewhere and asking a question about it, and you say you don't even meet, and then you go and play your show and forget about it. Next thing you know, it's like a zine that got printed 1,000 copies that are all over, the metropolitan area of the city you were just in last night. People are reading it, and you're getting emails from kids that are like, oh, I saw you don't eat meat, I want to look into that, And they started realizing that, simply saying the stuff in interviews or mentioning it on stage was actually reaching a lot of people. And so we really, like I said, we wanted to channel that, and vegetarianism became a focal point when we saw the impact that it was having. As a band, we've teamed up with PETA in a number of campaigns. We've extended an open door policy to PETA to table our shows, which they take us up on, pretty much every single time we play a show, whether it's in the States or in England or even in Germany, or Australia. We have chapters of PETA, and not just PETA, but like any animal rights group that wants to be a part of the show. They're pretty much more than welcome to just set up a table and do whatever they want, because we want them there. As much as, maybe even more than they want to be there, we want them there, because that's what we see our shows as. It's this opportunity. It's like, oh cool, someone gave us this giant room in the middle of the city to go pack with some kids. Let's put something more than just CDs and t-shirts. Let's put some information they can walk away with that's gonna maybe survive longer than maybe our music will. Let's see, what did we do with PETA? We did 50,000, in the first 50,000 copies of our last two records, we did PETA stickers. And so if you bought our record, wherever it was, whether it was a Best Buy or a mom and pop place, you got a PETA sticker in your record. Vans, the skate shoe company Vans, some people are wearing them. They asked us to design a shoe and make a signature shoe, and we did, and it's a totally vegan shoe, which they were totally cool with doing. And since then, they've made a few more vegan shoes, and I think they're pretty darn cool. I don't know, and I think that for a lot of people, it was their first vegan shoe, and showed that vegan shoes can actually be pretty cool, in my own humble opinion at least. And I know that there's some people out here that have vegan shoes that are selling them today. You should check them out too. Let's see. And then, obviously, doing the band, we spent a lot of time on the road. I haven't been home for more than 3 months at a time in the last 7 years. It's just the way we do things, and we're not special. It's just the way bands are. It's just what we do.